Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Black Wallet ZM, a place we are simply on a journey to building a generational legacy. Now, if you're an SME or you are on a path to starting your journey as an entrepreneur, today I have an amazing guest who's changing the game here in Zambia. She's a student, has been in the entrepreneurship game for a while now. I'm here today with Climoll, the female entrepreneur, formerly known as the female DC. The female DC. She used to call herself a DC because she used to chase dreams, but now the dreams are a reality. So she is the entrepreneur. Welcome to the Black Wallet.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for you to actually choose to have me.
You're the first one.
This is my first podcast.
Really?
Yes. It's time to show my abilities to the world.
Yeah, that's very good to know. For someone who's coming across you for the very first time, please go ahead and introduce yourself the way you would. I've done my intro, but I believe it will be different if it's coming from you.
For me, I would just say this thing just started when I saw how my mom would go around certain things, and then it took Mama Bear, like Miss Ngenam City, to ask me to say, it took some time for her to tell me, who am I? Who am I? This question kept going, like coming back and forth. I started my journey in 2019. It was, we created so many names in Z teams, everything. Actually, I think I sat in a classroom with my friends and I was about to finish school in 2019, and I asked them to say, what do you think I should call my company name, or what do you think I should call myself? So we found the company as CML Novelty. Novelty meaning uniqueness, bringing new things in the game, and for it being female, like it has been a quite challenging journey discovering what I am. But I'll just say Climoll is a visionary entrepreneur. I'm a natural leader. I'm a catalyst of growth. I influence and inspire those around me. I guide business from dormancy. Like anyone who's around me just has to succeed. I'm sharp with investment insights. I'm resilient.
Sharp with investment
insights. I lead with trust. And I call myself, like, I can't forget Bible principles. I'm the Joseph of my family. Anything I touch, anything in my hands, it grows. I'm not just building a brand, but I'm trying to build an empire and a legacy.
Oh, we got that one right. You see? A legacy. It's something beyond what you want to do. So what really inspired you to get in the field of technology? So for someone who's watching, we didn't even mention what field you are in. So maybe you can give them an insight of the field you are in, how you got started. You've touched base on it being inspired from asking the question, what do you really want to become?
Yes.
But what inspired the business? What does Climoll do in terms of business, in terms of education? What makes Climoll the female entrepreneur?
In terms of the Climoll being the female entrepreneur, I do school. I'm actually a student at the University of Lusaka.
What year are you in?
I'm in my third second, so I should be finishing by next year. We focus on the business.
Focus on the business, I like that.
So, school, work, and is really challenging, but I just told myself, if I don't find it, like, I'm a dream chaser. I want to get things done. I am building a legacy, so I need to know where I'm going. And the tech world started when I think I went to Brand because I really wanted to know how to go around business. So I worked for Branch, and just for free, I told him to say, just teach me how to do business.
How long did you work for him?
I think for two to 3 years. I wasn't getting paid. He would send me around. He would give me the money. No, but deposit everywhere. And then
really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So when I asked him to say, how do you do this business? Do you think I should join the tech world? And then he told me to say, you come up a ground. So it's scary. The phones are scary. Let me try. Something that you know to say. I mean, Pablo Escobar did drugs. So you know to say that if someone is telling you it's scary.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
So that's how I said, okay, let me try. So when I started the phone business, I think I started with 2 phones. So I went to a certain guy. He calls himself Pablo Escobar as well. We gave him the phones. This in a certain instant he bought the two at a go. Gave us the money. He was like, this business. For instance, it's what I like.
Instant
I
cash.
like growth.
Yeah.
So from there, that's how I started like getting the phones and everything like that. So the next time we got 4, we multiplied, we put back everything. Then just like that, we kept multiplying until we reached the goal to say, okay, this year we want to touch 50. When we touched 50, to my surprise, because there's what we call retailers, we call them dealers. So I had to talk to the dealers to say I have this and this. So we had 50 phones, 6 plus at the time. So we had 56 plus. In less than 7 days, all of them were gone. I was like, okay, now this is my field. Before you know it, we found ourselves having 100, 200 in less than 2 weeks. We just sell them off. So that's how we just said, okay, this is our thing.
This is a thing. Yes. And how did you find yourself in the field you were studying in? Is it something you wanted from the beginning? The course that you're studying, that is.
The thing with economics and finance, I really didn't want to do school, but my mentors kept pushing me to say, no, just go to school, get a paper, because for where you're going, you will need it. There's certain jobs, certain contracts that you can't get if you don't have a degree, you don't have a master's and everything. And the school journey has been quite challenging. And you know, you're with people that you're chasing. You're in class, you're thinking of how am I going to make money? And then you're in class with people who are telling you to say, no, as we just want A's and C's. So navigating that world is quite difficult, but I just said with the knowledge I will get from economics and finance, that's how you tend to learn. I think we've talked about bonds, we've talked about the shares
stocks,
and everything like that, stocks. So from there, I think I can start something, even aside from CML knowledge, maybe I can birth something like
another
a consultancy.
Yes.
Because what I know is that in my hands things grow. So someone can come to me with an idea and they can tell you to say that this is what you should do, this is wrong, and I can share my journey.
Lovely. I'm so excited. Like I'm learning as much as well. You talked about working without a pay because you wanted to learn.
Yes.
For someone watching this, most of the young people, by the way, you are young as well, right? I don't know if you mind saying your age,
but I'm very young. I'm actually just 22.
She's 22 years.
22 in December.
She turned 22, right? And for most of the young people in our generation, what we want is a job that's paying you, a job that's giving you gratification in the now. But tell me, what was the biggest lesson for you working for 3 years? Without the reward maybe of finance, maybe you could get it in one way or another, but what is it that you were truly looking for in that period, and what kept you devoted in the 3 years rather than just thinking of, I'm not getting paid on this job, why should I focus? What held you into the business, working without even getting paid?
What influenced me in working in such a space was, like, I really wanted to see how he does the business, looking at it and looking how thriving he is. So now it went from him being my boss to him being kind of like a mentor. So the only things he'd help with is maybe just food, transport, and things like that, maybe dropping me off home sometimes and having a relationship. It was about me having a mentor, because every time I would see something, everyone would tell me to say, you need someone to guide you. And looking at where I was going, Brian just had to be the right person to teach me. And actually, he was very famous, so like using his fame, so coming with me. So it's like people need to say, Climoll Brian, Brian. So now the influence started coming on me, and now everyone started to know, oh, who's Climoll? When they come to the shop, oh, this is Climoll.
I'm looking for Climoll. Yes.
For Brian, Shanshan, and things like that. So I learned a lot from Brian. I learned how to do business. Even just somehow the way I think is kind of the way he is. But then for him, it's just usually the clothing and everything else. But for me, I'm just saying, I just want to follow the tech journey. Then maybe we'll branch off to something better. So I think I found a mentor. I was looking for mentorship. And the only way to get something is to work with someone. That's the only, sometimes, unguided learning is okay. So I did most of unguided learning, and sometimes he would guide me through, this is how the Chinese suppliers work, this is how everything works, this is how Dubai works, and everything. So I didn't only just gain I wasn't working for free like anything. I knew what I wanted.
Yes.
I wanted suppliers. I wanted to know how to do the business. So that's why in the space of 1 year, I just went from maybe 3 figures to 4 figures. Before you know it, 5 figures. Before we were in 6.
5 figures, you heard that? Picking up from 4 figures, 5, and now into 6 figures. I still want us to get back to when you started. Most of the people are just excited. Climoll is making 6 figures. I'm starting the business now. But me, I'm going to start maybe with a loan. I'm going to borrow money. I'm going to get started when I have the money. Those are most of the conversations people have when they want to get started. They wait until I have 100,000 to start my business, then I can start my business. How did you go about the capital when getting started? And for someone watching the podcast, they are thinking of, I can't start because of the capital.
Yeah.
How do you advise they go about it?
For me, how I got my capital is that a background of what I'll just take you back to how it actually started. So when I was done with my 9th grade, like I was like a girl who was like spoiled. My parents had the money and everything like that. So now we reached a stage in my 9th grade where things kind of started getting rough for us. And then I saw how my mother was like struggling to do things and everything like that. So I said, I don't want that for myself. So that's how I started thinking in my 9th grade. I think after I did well I've always been school smart. So like after I got I passed my grade 9, they got me a camera. So when they got me that camera, I think I started a photography company actually.
Oh, really?
Yes. Like we called it Urban Teens, Z Teens, I was the Urban Queen and everything like that. Then we were just making 5 kwachas, 2 kwachas.
You were changing 5 kwacha
yes. Like how am I going?
Smart.
Yes. Like how am I going to make the money if I want to be a millionaire? How am I going to get to that stage? So I think it took me for like 2 years. It carried me until I got to my 11th grade. Then that's how I think I started. Now that's where the journey of working with Brian started. He would send me t-shirts for No Fake Friends. I came to Lusaka, we struck a deal. So
when you were speaking to him, you were out of Lusaka?
Yes, I would come to Lusaka, I get the products.
You were staying in Lusaka?
I was staying in
Livingston.
Yes.
Oh, so you're from Livingston? Or you just were staying
I was staying in Livingston. I was schooling there from 9 to 10 somewhere. 9 to 12.
So you started your first business around grade 9?
I started my first business around grade 9.
Okay.
So that's how everything happened, like in my 11th grade. Then 12th grade, we just said, okay, let's sell the camera. Then we started now she would buy shirts from Brian because now no longer Brian Chandler, it was just like a cup franchise, something like that. So so No Fake Friends in Livingston, everyone knew me. Oh, Brian Chandler, this one, she's Brian Chandler. She's Brian Chandler. They started calling me Brian Chandler's daughter. She's the Brian Chandler.
Really?
And then that's how the birthing started. Then I think I reached 3,000, and then Durags came to life. We started selling Durags. We ordered like I think 3,000 pieces of Durags. And then I went to Brian to say, no, let's help me advertise because since he had the clothing business, and then that's how he helped me advertise. So from a 3,000 kwacha, that's when we birthed like 20,000 because we got the Durags at, I think it was 10 kwacha, 5 kwacha at the time, and we were selling them at 150.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
So like when you multiply, the money was like 30 to 20. But I remember just touching a 20 because I don't know where the 10,000 went. Then Young Fuels came, and that was I thought that was going to be my business, right? Then Young Fuels comes and says, Durags 5 kwacha, the same order price in China. That's how it took me out of business. Then I tried something new, started events. We put the money in events with some guy. I don't know. The event went well. Everyone knew about it, Project X and everything like that. But it ended up just like the money, we didn't know where it went. So now I had to again start from scratch. So now that's how I started thinking of saying, what am I going to do? That's how I made it 2,000 or something. And then that's how I ordered the 2 phones and then started the business. So there was a lot of failures before.
There was a lot of failures, and capital obviously was generated through a gift. Let's just say a gift that you maximized, sold it, and got started. One thing that I've noticed when I'm talking to any person is mindset.
Yes.
Where they are at. You're not thinking of what if it fails. You're always thinking, let me try.
Yes.
If it fails, I know Were you always money? Did you always have a consciousness about money when you got started? What was your mindset when it came to money? Were you always thinking I will succeed in this business, or how do you go about getting started with nothing? I'm so curious to understand your mindset.
My mindset basically just came from how my mom was like navigating life, and how she was like everything. Because my mom is like, she's a natural hustler. Both my mom and dad are actually hustlers.
Street hustlers.
Yeah, street hustler. So for me, they tried to make the path for me to like do school and also do business. Though they didn't want me to start a business and everything like that. So for me, it was just seeing how my mom struggled, and I always wanted to be the first person. Like, that's why I started saying I'm the Joseph of my family. I wanted to bring my family from the poverty to riches. So for me, the motivation has always been, I want my family to live a lavish life. I want my young sister to have the best life there is. I don't want my family, as long as I'm on earth, I want them to live a good life, a very comfortable life. And then that's how, from like knowing what Climoll is, that's how I started knowing to say I actually like helping people. I like maybe street kids. There are times where you find, like, I see a street kid is hungry and they want food and everything, and there's a time I think people would look at me weirdly. They'll just get maybe even 10 street kids, and then I take them to say, let me buy you Hungry Lion, let me buy you food. And then they look at me to say, how are you with people who are dirty and everything like that, and you're buying them food. Sometimes it's just about the mindset to say, you want to help people. I just want to give people so that at least the money is not mine, but at least let it be for everyone.
So basically, it's a mindset of abundance and making sure people around you benefit.
Yes.
Growing up, were you also in a position where you grew up feeling like money belongs to a certain type of people?
I don't think so. I think when I was growing up, I think I would say I was a rich kid.
Rich kid. You were using iPhone. iPhone what?
There was no iPhone.
Yeah, 22. So maybe in the 20s.
It didn't reach our side. There was just this Huawei, because the Huawei, one of the best schools in Houston was Mopani. I was at Mopani Kinder Primary School. It was like one of the best. So like I would say I would even choose to say, no, I want to go with the bus today, I want to go with the truck, I want to go with it.
So now we are rich.
Yes.
I understand.
So now
for someone who doesn't know, those days if you're choosing how you're going to school, you're rich. But if you just have one option, you're walking.
No, things are not okay.
Things are not okay.
So we were okay, we were very okay. I don't think for that, I think, so it's after just I saw how the drop was. When everything, so I just said, for me, I don't want that. I never want to reach a certain stage of success and then just drop
by.
So I wanted, that's how even the thing of going to school, that's why I went to do economics and finance. There's actually the financial risk. So that's why there's a course in economics and finance that they call financial risk, where we tend to know to say, the 80, 50, 30, 20 rule.
Yeah.
So things like that, that's how you get to navigate to say, oh, this is where maybe my parents made the mistake. They were not saving, they were not buying bonds. They were only just, like, the money was just floating in the same business. What if the same business collapses? That's why now I'm thinking of maybe diversifying or venturing into other businesses. CMA Novelty Tech or CMA Novelty Innovation will be the foundation of everything, but there's surely going to be a birthing of other businesses. Yeah.
That's so good. And I really love your mindset, because they're 22-year-olds right now. All they care about is my lashes, my nails,
my
dress,
my nails done. Yes.
But then to have someone like you thinking of generational, thinking of establishing businesses in many ventures, that's so good, and so good to hear. So what are some of the systems you've put in your business that have helped you to be financially disciplined? Because it's not easy seeing 6 figures and you're like, I need a Yango, I need a car, how do you manage your business finances and your personal finances, and how have you stayed disciplined and consistent?
That's where the mentors come in for help, because it wasn't during that struggle that I didn't know how to. So back then, I'll just get money from the account. Anytime I need food, I'll just get from the business account and everything like that. But now when I started having mentors and everything, they started guiding me through, especially Bishop Bruce Nsidi. So he told me to say you actually need a finance of, like, you need to be paying yourself from the business. You see how much you have. You see, let's say this is the shopping, this is the house rent, this is the transport, these are the logistics and everything like that. Then you pay yourself. Then so that from then, when the money comes, you just deduct a certain amount and then you give back the business. So like this is what I've been doing. I just remove what I need to spend on, and then that's how I put back everything in the
So do you have like a fixed amount, or
Yes,
it depends with your income?
No, I have a fixed amount. That's why
when do you increase?
When do I increase? Because I really want to, if there's something I'm chasing right now, is 7 figures.
Yes.
Maybe when I get there, that's when I'll increase on doing everything. So that's why you find that people will be asking, why are you not buying a car and everything like that? Why are you not doing this? I can't buy a car. I actually
Even
don't.
today.
Even today, if I want, I
let's go
can
to
buy
the
a
showroom
car.
and buy it. Yeah.
I can buy, but then the thing is, I'm driven. Like, I want to be financially independent, and I don't want to be like my parents. Like, they started buying. That's why you find me attracted, because every time they received a big deal, they would buy it. So that's why you find I've seen how it feels like to be rich and go back down. So for me, I'm trying to avoid that. So I'm trying to have a sustainable, like, amount of money, sustainable amount. So I'm being risk averse in some way.
That's good. That's good to hear. Otherwise, you should be using 17 Pro Max when it just lands September.
Yes.
And it's so true, because sometimes we're so excited by the material things
truly.
that you can afford, and you forget the goals. So I'm glad you mentioned the balance between what you know you can afford versus what you want to achieve.
Yes.
That's a very valid point for you watching, that you really have to consider in your business. Tell me about your financial independence. When do you feel, at least I have worked? What's your goal with achieving the financial independence rather than just the figures?
I think I would have reached that point when Vusi, as Vusi says, Vusi Tebego says, if you can leave your business for 3 months straight and you're not there, and everything is okay, the money is flowing, you have a good house, you have a good car, you have a sustainable business, you have businesses, then I would feel to say, at least I have done something. Because right now I can't leave my workplace like for 3 months and everything. I'll find everything shambled and everything. Because even just the 1 month during exams, and I need to study for 2 weeks and like my business is really, really, really in shambles.
So that's so good. So before we move on to a second part of this interview, I just want you to give us an insight of a day in the life of Climoll.
Okay.
Yes. How's your day like? Like, how does it start? Your working hours and etc.
So Climoll will get up by 6:30. 6:30, I'm at the gym by 7 hours.
Which gym do you go to?
I go to Pro Gym.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm there by 7 hours. I have a trainer. We train me from 7 to what time? Sometimes 9, sometimes up to 8. It depends on what's this. If it's cardio or if we're doing back. We all know to say back is something.
It's training.
It's very. And then after that, I go for work. I go to the shop. The shop is open by 9:30. When it's open at 9:30, that's how we start doing clients and everything. We do swap and top ups. But mostly we like doing cash. We also do lay-by. We also do lay-by for those who can manage. But we do have phones like from the 6 Plus all the way to iPhone 16, because we can't forget where we started. The 6 Plus is what we started with, so we really don't forget. So sometimes we find we bring 10, 20, and then that's how we do it.
And from work, what do you love to do?
From work?
Yeah, from work, what do you usually do after work? What time do you leave work? What time do you go to school?
I leave work at 16:30 sometimes. If I don't have class, I leave work at 18 hours. When I leave work at 18 hours, I go to school at 17:30. That's when
your classes are in the
my classes
evening.
start from 17:30 to 20:30. I mean part-time instead of full-time because full-time is at Silver, so I just decided to be at the one at Pioneer campus. So that's how we go around. Then from there, I just get food maybe at the mall. After I get food at the mall, I go home, I sleep. By 22 hours, I'm sleeping. But because you have to also dedicate for your partner. My partner,
Oh, your partner.
yes. So my man loves conversations, loves calls. So you find I even sleep off the call and he remains talking to himself because I'll be tired. I've been in the school, the gym, and everything. So yeah.
That's good to know. I'm interested in priority of your health. What got you to get started, like to work out?
What got me to work out was looking at where I was going and the times like that I don't want to be fit and looking like I'm old. So it was those things that I had to put in place, like eating healthy. And at the time I think I actually went very, very, very fat. And then I was like, this body, there's no
You want to enjoy.
You want to enjoy. So that's how I just said, okay, let me also start the fitness journey. And that's how I started.
So far, so good. There's a difference actually. There's a point.
There's a point where like my back wasn't in shape, my stomach was, and I was like flabby. So now I like the way I am. Now I'm confident, and now that's the problem.
And now you even have better energy when it comes to your work.
Yeah, because even the gym will teach you discipline, will teach you consistency, will teach you resilience. It also teach you how to show up consistency. That's what the gym does.
That's what the gym does. So we hope to see you in the gym. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Adding on to what you just said about consistency in the gym, how do you remain consistent in learning? Are there any measures you've put where you learn about business, learn about the industry? You talked about mentorship. Why was that important for you? And what other resources are you adding to building knowledge?
In terms of mentorship is what actually kind of birthed me because the first mentor I ever had was Ngenam City. She's the first person that guided me and told me to say you really need mentorship to get to where you're going. You need people who have gone the journey so that you don't repeat the mistakes. And remember, I said I don't want to make the same mistakes my parents made. So meaning mentors kind of like give me a guide to say when you do this is what you're going to end up doing. Then also I also invest in books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Psychology of Money.
How often do you read?
I have to read like almost like Bishop. Bishop would tell me to say you need to read by the end of the year you need to read 10 books. So like it has now become like something. So I read like almost every day. I read like almost every day because at the shop there are times where it's not busy and you just find me reading through the book or maybe sometimes just using voice books, and things like that. So it's just true that sometimes maybe just attending certain events. Like you see a business event, you just attend things like what they call it, the one for Musani Limalinga, the one for Euro Stadium.
I know it. I've forgotten the title.
I've also forgotten the title.
But I know it is a good book. I've forgotten the title.
There's that one because I remember the first time when he did. Oh, it's actually Africa Must Think.
Africa Must Think. Yeah.
So when he brought the guy that he brought, Vusi Tembekoi, I'm a very huge fan of Vusi Tembekoi. I actually want him to be part of my mentors. Then I'll stop this mentorship hunting and everything.
Really?
But yes, it's through those things that have helped me make certain decisions, be disciplined and do certain things. They'll tell me to say if you keep spending your money every day, yes, it's your money, we acknowledge that, but if you want to get to where you need to go, you need to sacrifice now so that the 30s and everything like that you are good to go.
Awesome. So how many mentors do you have?
I think I have mentors for almost everything.
And by everything, what do you mean?
For my finance, I have a mentor for the gym. I have a mentor.
Yeah.
I have a mentor for how to do my sales and marketing. I have a mentor for just me, like my mental health and everything. Because trust me, the mental health is something that's very important. When your mental health is not okay, I don't think you can manage working. And I also have a mentor for school.
For school,
yes.
Awesome. Are you mentoring other people?
I'm actually thinking of starting to mentor other people. I had to know first who I am because I didn't. That's why I even took time to even start accepting podcasts and everything.
Yes.
I didn't know who I was.
Yes.
But now that I've been guided to say, okay, now you can go and tell me because I think this thing for going to the world and now starting to speak to people because it had to take certain people to actually now because the person who does my advertising and helps me market and everything is David Kazadi. So the first deal I ever got was being in a newspaper on Newsday. Last year I was in Daily Mail, the biggest newspaper. He organized and everything. So I was going through trainings, how to speak and everything like that.
Oh, that's good to hear.
So I have mentors for practically everything. So
everything. When the time comes, you are ready.
I'm ready. Even the Bible is written, you should be ready when the time comes.
Awesome. You need to be ready when the time comes.
Yes, because I've seen friends, the time has come for them, the money has come.
Yeah,
they just squander.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yes.
Because people ask me to say, we were actually how many? We were the 4 of us when we were starting this. In fact, 6. We used to call each other again, but you find that the only people that are left standing were just like the 3 of us, and then they're asking why. And then now just sometimes I always say I give an example of myself because I'm the one who among all my friends I'm the one who has mentors like for everything. And then so the knowledge that it looks like I'm speaking from a place of knowledge when I learn almost every day. I mean it's the time I even told you to say that I want you to be my mentor. You don't be started teaching me bonds, share. It's from you that I learned those.
Oh, I even forgot. I remember.
And then the next semester then I started. So everything you were telling me about bonds, share.
Oh yeah, I remember we had a
corporate
conversation.
finance.
You actually called me and you came home.
Yes.
I remember. Oh yeah,
So I
very
found
true.
everything in corporate finance.
And you're like,
this is what I was saying.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's very good. That's true actually. Me, I even forgot. I always forget these things. Sometimes you just want to pour and without the thought of I want you one day to remember me. But the goal is have you invested and how are you moving? That's true. What's the biggest vision you have beyond just selling phones? Like what's obviously some aspects of it are unveiled as you keep going. But as for now, what's something you're eyeing to get into?
One thing I'm eyeing to get into is maybe the I've seen how in Zambia, I don't think there's a place where I would say this. I'm very particular about authentic shoes. Red bottoms, Givenchy, things like that, those shoes. Like if people would have such supplier, like such a shop that sells their watches and everything. So I've been hunting to like get access to that because people want authentic stuff. And now I've seen that I don't think there's anyone I've seen that has authentic like
quality stuff.
So that's what I'm actually thinking of venturing. I want to go back to the clothing industry. I want to go back to the shoes industry.
Oh, good. That's a good one. And talking about building a legacy, what's one thing you'd like to pass on to the next generation?
One thing I'd like to pass on to the next generation, I think for me, I didn't make so many mistakes because I always had a mentor. Me, all I have told the next generation is immediately you just want to go around life, you want to do something in life. I think just get a mentor. It's true. These people will help you make beautiful decisions for your life and you won't make a lot of mistakes. I have friends who are my age and are in a lot of loans and everything like that. But for me, I didn't start my business loan based and everything like that. I started my business with what I had. I just looked to say, okay, I can sell that. And then I can, sometimes I think at church, but Mills would preach to say, you have stock in your shoe rack and you don't want to sell it. Sell the thing.
Sell what you have.
Sell what you have. Start with what you have and then you start a business. That's what I would genuinely just tell everyone to say.
Have a mentor.
Get someone who can help you get.
Yeah, that's very good. Together. And my second question then would be to your younger self. What's something that you wish you knew early?
I wish I knew to say when I had the money and everything, I should have already started thinking of how I was going to continue the legacy that my parents had, instead of me just thinking of I'll always have it tomorrow. So now what I've been thinking of, anytime, any day, this thing can go. It's my decisions that are going to keep me in the business. It's my decisions that are going to keep me having the money.
Decisions.
Yes.
So decisions.
Yes.
Each decision you are taking, you can do better, or you can do worse with the decision.
Truly.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good one. Last but not the least, before we go and before I ask my last question, tell me what products you have, the range of products you have, where your store is located, so that if somebody is watching now, they can reach out to you, and probably maybe they're considering to sell their phone, upgrade their phone. What are some of the services that you provide?
We provide repair, we provide swap and top up, as I said, we do lay-by. We are located in town along Chachacha Road, right opposite Iringamo, at Pathway Complex, opposite Kulimata, as shop number 9. And then we sell iPhone. We're specific about iPhone. We do swap and top up. Let's say
no Samsung, no Android.
For Samsung and Android, the problem with Samsung and Android is that if someone steals them away from and then they are tracked, usually Samsung you can just wipe it, but then they can still track it.
Yeah.
So now you find that there's one time that we started doing Samsung, and then it was a stolen Samsung, and then the police had to come in. It had to be someone like the general or something like that. It was a big phone.
Yes.
And then we got it because they were getting a 14 Pro Max, and we found out one of the police. So from there we just said, Samsung,
Really?
unless you're ordering. If you want us to order for you, because there are two types. There's one that comes from China that would say it takes 14 days, and then there's another one that comes from Dubai or the UK. It just takes a week and the phone is in. But that's for Samsung. Samsung we just do pre-order based. We don't do local because they have a lot of issues. So that's what basically we do. We have the iPhone from the iPhone 6 Plus all the way to the iPhone 16 Pro Max.
And the fixing services, what type of fixing?
We do all the fixing, all the screens, the batteries, the ICs, the audios, the power IC, all those things. Anything to do with iPhone, I think we fix everything.
Oh, that's good to know. Yes. The female entrepreneur. I was about to say the female DT. I'm like, no, that changed.
That changed. Yeah.
That changed. The female entrepreneur. And see how technical she's getting into it. And finally, I don't know, before we get closing, do we have any remarks? But my last question would be, what's the hardest part of this journey? As an entrepreneur, what's been the hardest part and how have you overcome that?
The hardest part is, I always say this, is the guys in the industry when I came on board, because I don't think there's a female entrepreneur in the tech industry that can compete with the way I sell the phones and the business.
She's non-competitive.
I don't think there's a female that has built like from scratch and knows how everything is. So it's the guys. The guys will be there. They'll come at the shop. Oh, you're in the kitchen. You're busy. Yeah, like it's usually the guys. They're intimidated by me. Sometimes I would even tell this person is speaking from a place of fear, and then immediately we just start arguing and things like that. And then I'll tell them to say, "I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to break the norm, to say that females can't sell phones, females are scared," because all my female friends are running to
perfumes, clothes,
shoes, lashes, and then there's me who's just there in the tech industry, and I want to dominate. So I'm a female entrepreneur in the tech industry, and I'm there to dominate.
She's there to dominate. Watch out for her. Yes. Watch out. And in the next few years, you're going to see more of her succeeding in that space.
Truly.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming today. I'm so glad we had this interview, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
No problem.
Now you're ready. I'm looking forward to the next one. For somebody who was watching this, if Climoll can do it, you have no excuse.
Yes.
If Climoll can get the mentorship because she wants to grow, you have no excuse. Yes. Remember, she mentioned about decisions. What decision are you making today that can make a difference for your generation? It's a question for you. Until next time.